Hi guys, happy Cinco de Mayo, happy 5th of May, and to my Mexican viewers, muy feliz Cinco de Mayo. Today I'm going to be making Mexican tamales, like these. You're watching The Bear Pantry Show. Alright guys, so the main thing that I want you guys to know about making tamales is that it's not hard, okay? I don't care if it's the Yucatan type tamales that we make in Belize, or if it's Mexican tamales or the Puerto Rican tamales that I have here at the side already. It's not hard, it just takes a lot of time, alright? So come with me over to the stove. And I'm doing chicken. I'm being adventurous today. I'm doing chicken and I'm doing beef tamales. I'm also going to do a cheese one, but you know, that's easy to prepare the filling. So I want to show you guys what I've done so far to prepare this beef and this chicken, all right? Take a look. Take a look at this thick, beautiful piece of boneless beef. It has a lot of fat on it, but this is exactly what I need to make these tamales. I put it in this bowl, douse it with some vinegar, rinse it off under the faucet, and now I'm adding the spices. This is our powdered ricotta made from achiote. You guys know we have the rub kind and the powder kind, and you can replace this with paprika, but I don't like the taste of paprika, so I'm sticking with this. I've added salt, black pepper, and some cayenne. You can add any other spice that you like, okay? Joe has added some olive oil to this pot for me. We put the beef in, allow it to cook on one side till it's brown, and then now we're flipping it over to the other side. And don't forget to cook it on its edges because you know this is thick. And now all we have to do is add a lot of water to this pot and then put a lid on it and allow this to cook for about 2 hours. Check on it, okay? Don't let the water run out because it will burn. Now we're going to do thighs, and this is how I prepare them. I take off some of the excess fat, but I leave the skin on. So let me get this done. I just have to give some props to Joe because a lot of the times he helps me behind the scenes, and then you guys don't see him on camera because now he's going to leave and go to work, and I'm going to take over the rest. So say hi, Joe.
Hi folks.
Bend down a little bit towards the lens.
Hi folks, this is Mr. Fix-It Joe.
This is the lens, Joe.
Yes, that's where
Joe,
I'm looking.
this is the lens.
I'm looking right in the lens. See my eyes pop open, like bug open.
Thank you, baby. Alright guys, so let's continue with preparing the thighs. I put some distilled white vinegar on this and I rinsed it off. Now I'm adding some black pepper and some salt, and I'm going to use the powdered ricotta again, made from the achiote. I do have the rub in stock right now, but I want to use the powder today. Take a look at this bottle. This is what it looks like. I have this for sale at my website. I don't think I have a whole lot. I think it's like a dozen that I got from my dad, okay? Now I've added some olive oil to the skillet, and I'm putting the pieces in. You don't have to wait for the skillet to get too hot to put them in. Allow them to cook for about, I'd say 10 minutes on each side, just till they get brown. And then now add a lot of water to the pot and allow this to cook for about an hour. And now we're right back to where we started. I'm so happy to have Jada helping me out with the camera today, guys, because this is a lot of work here. All right, so we're going to do the red sauce and the green sauce. And I don't know the official name for them. I'm going to guess chili verde for the green one. And chili ancho, I think I heard somebody say, for the red one. I don't know, so it's going to be red salsa and green salsa, okay? Work with me, guys. So I have everything here, and I'm going to read off of this list for each salsa for you, okay? So for the red one, we're going to need these type of peppers. The recipe says ancho peppers, but I couldn't find that at the store, and this is the closest I came. It's California chili pods. It might be the same thing, guys. It looks like the same thing to me. And so we're going to need water because we're going to cook the peppers on the stove. We're going to need a clove of garlic. You guys know I have my garlic in this thing right here. We're going to need half a cup of the tamal dough, and we're going to make the dough from this. I didn't make the dough yet because I also needed a broth to make the dough. So it's kind of like a catch-22 here. And then we're going to need cumin seeds, which I don't have. I have cumin powder, which I'm not going to use because my kids don't like the smell of cumin, especially Jory. So delete that, but you can put that in if you want, okay? We're going to need some salt. You can use a can of whole tomatoes, but I'm going to use a tomato because I don't have the whole tomato in the can. And we're going to need some sugar. So that covers everything that we're going to need to make the red sauce. For the green sauce, let me tell you guys, and I did my research, okay? I looked at a lot of videos. I put some recipes together, and this is what I have here. I'm so excited. So for the green sauce, you're gonna need, they're still in the bag. You're gonna see what these look like when I open them. Tomatillos and jalapenos, but not from the can. So not the pickled kind. You're gonna need garlic, salt, black pepper, and some shortening. So you don't need a whole lot for the green sauce, but it's still gonna be awesome, okay? In the meanwhile, this is the corn husk. I just got this brand that was at the store. It was kind of expensive. I think it was like $6.99 for this whole big bag right here. See, but it's a lot. And what we're gonna do is just get this ready. We need an hour to get this ready. And we're just gonna dump it in here. And we're gonna put hot water on it, okay? But the reason I told you guys this, that tamales takes a lot of time is because you have to do the filling, which is like the beef or the chicken, or the authentic Mexican tamales is usually made with pork. I'm not going to use pork. I'm just not a fan of pork. The only pork I ever eat is bacon. And so I'm just not a fan of pork. And I'm also not going to use lard. Authentic tamales will use lard. And I went to the store to buy the lard yesterday to make it authentic, and I just couldn't buy it. I just can't put that thing in my body knowing that it's going to clog my arteries. So we're going to use shortening. And I've also seen another YouTuber, Hyla Cooking, I think. She made one with coconut oil and it looked good. So in the future, I might try that recipe, but I don't want to get cussed out on this video saying it's not authentic. So I'm going to go with shortening. And in the meanwhile, what I have to do now, I'm going to get my water on this. I'm going to start making my red and green sauce. And then I'm going to lay everything out here. And we're going to start making off the tamales, okay? So there, fill the bowl with some hot water and then put this plate on top to weigh down the corn husks. Now let's make the green salsa. I'm putting the jalapenos and the tomatillos in this pot, get them washed off, and then fill the pot with water. Now I'm taking it over to the stove to bring it to a boil for 10 to 15 minutes, and then I pour it through a colander, and then into the Blendtec they go. And now I'm going to add some garlic, and you would add a clove right here if you don't have it minced like this. I'm adding some salt and some black pepper, and then now I blend. Now I'm going to take the salsa over to the stove, put some shortening in this pot, and then just allow it to get a little bit hot. Pour the salsa in and reduce this down to a thicker consistency, all right? Now let me go ahead and pour this in a bowl and set this aside because now I want to move on to making the first batch of the masa. I'm going to use 2 cups of harina de maíz, which is flour made from corn. This is a tablespoon of baking powder. Remember now, this is not cornmeal, okay? I'm adding some salt, 2/3 cup of shortening, or at this point you could add lard. I'm going to nuke this in the microwave so it can become liquefied like this. Add it to my dry ingredients, and then now I'm going to add some broth, and I'm using the beef broth on this one. This is about 1.5 cups of beef broth that I set aside. Now I need a little bit more. This is another cup, and you guys are going to have to eyeball this to see how moist you want it, okay? I want this one super moist, like the consistency of peanut butter, because I want to try 2 different textures today. So I'm going to put 1/2 cup of this aside because I need it for the red salsa. Look at this lid, guys. Jada made this stuff for me when she was like 7 years old in pottery class. She was so good at this. So a part of it is broken, but I still love it. Now let's get the peppers open. I'm using just kitchen shears to open the peppers and then cut off the stems and just clean the seeds out. You guys know that the heat in the pepper is in the seeds, but it's also in these little veins right here. See? So even if you get rid of the seeds, the pepper is still hot. Anyways, get them all open. You need about 8. I have a little bit more than 8, but some of them are small. Stick it in this pot, and then I'm going to add water to it. Bring it to a boil for about 10 to 15 minutes, just like we did with the jalapenos and the tomatillos. Now pour it through the colander again. Now into the Blendtec they go. And now we're going to add our other spices here. We're going to make this a little bit different. I'm adding 1 tomato, and you can add a can of whole tomato. I'm adding some salt, no black pepper, but some salt, some garlic, and some broth. 1 cup of broth, guys, and that's the beef broth, I believe. And then now the 1/2 cup of the masa and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Don't put too much sugar because it's going to really change the taste of this. Now go ahead and blend this until it's smooth. You guys want to see it through the top? Take a look. Look at this dynamic angle right here. Ooh, great. Now it's done. Put it in a bowl. See, I have a baby one to the big one that Jada made, and the lid on this one is still intact. See? Gorgeous, right? Now let's make the second batch of masa. 2 cups of the harina de maíz again, 1 tablespoon of baking powder to make it fluffy, the 2/3 cup of the shortening, and now this is chicken broth. And the reason that I'm taking the time to show you guys this is because this is going to be thicker. It's not going to be like peanut butter consistency. We're going to actually roll it like this. Check for moisture. If it floats, then it has enough moisture in it. Okay, if it doesn't float, add more liquid. Now let's dice up our beef. And a lot of people will shred this, and most of the time it's pork and they'll shred it. I don't like shredded meat, so I'm going ahead and dicing it up into bite-sized pieces. And pretty much, you know, this is how we're going to do the chicken too. Just cut it off of the bone, eliminate the skin now because the skin has already served its purpose in making the meat juicy. So let's just continue to dice this up, and then we're going to move on to the next stage. So it's now 1:06 and I started at 7 in the morning. Don't be scared though. I stopped several times, turned the air on and cool down because I don't leave the air on when I'm taping because you can hear that noise. So don't worry. Anyways, see some of the corn husk here. I'm standing them up so they can drain. And I have this over here that I also soaked. And this I didn't even soak because it's too much. All right. So even though it's 6 something for it, it was worth it for the package. So we're going to have beef tamales and chicken tamales. And I'm not doing pork like I told you guys. But we're also going to do cheese and jalapeno. So I'm just going to go and get this sliced up, open this, get some of this sliced up. And then when we come back, we're going to be making off the tamales. See the first one here? This is beef with the green one. Anyways, let me get this cut up. And oh, take a look at this. See how soft this is? If you open the one that you're making softer and it's not as soft, just add a little bit more water. I want this to be like peanut butter versus this one here that is, you know, you can roll like a ball, okay? We're trying 2 different textures. And by the way, the most important thing, I forgot to tell you guys, I'll give Jada a chance to come around here. Wear comfortable shoes. I never warned you guys about that. You know, like I always said, you protect your fingers and everything, but I never tell you guys to wear comfortable shoes. You're gonna need it on a day like this. So let me get this going, and then we come back, we're gonna be wrapping. Before we start rolling them off, let me show you guys. I don't have the correct tamales pot, and I'm not going to bite because I'm not going to make these all the time. So I'm using a colander and a big pot. There's water in there. And I just laid a few of the corn husk leaves on the bottom of it because that's just going to allow it to steam a little bit better. Some people put a penny in the water below, and you can hear that penny kind of rattle so you can know that you didn't run out of water. Just check. This stuff is full up here to water, but it's not touching the colander, okay? So we're going to start rolling off now. So everything is ready, so let's assemble. I'm using the one with the beef broth that looks more like peanut butter, and I spread it with the back of my spoon. I don't want to go up more than halfway up the corn husk, and I'll show you why. So let me put some beef in it, and then I'm going to add some of the green sauce, and then now it's time to fold. This one goes halfway in, the next one kind of flips over like this or flops over, and then bend the tail. So that's why you don't want to go up more than halfway up the corn husk. So these two are done. Let's make another one. Oh, before that, let me show you can strip the corn husk like this and tie a bow around the one so you can know what has what, okay? Now I'm going to do a cheese and jalapeno one, and you don't want the cheese to go too much above the top because it's going to ooze out when it cooks. So fold it, fold in the tail like this, and set it aside. Now this is the one that has a thicker consistency for the masa. So I'm going to go ahead and just going to squish it in the corn husk like this. You can't use the back of the spoon like the peanut butter one. So now here comes the chicken, some red sauce, fold this in, and then flip the tail end up and just set it aside. Now, who is supposed to tell me what kind of tamales I can have, right? So this one, I'm going to go all out with it. I put beef, chicken, cheese, jalapeno, and of course, I'm going to put red sauce and green sauce, and I'm going to pray that I can close this. Look at it, guys. It can't even close. It's so fat. I'm going to make this one for Jada because she wanted to taste everything on her tamales all at once. So now it's time to steam them. And I'm just going to go ahead and set them in here like this and allow this to go for about 45 minutes. Remember to put a lid on top of your pot while it's cooking, okay? Now here they are. They're done. This is one of the chicken ones. This is one of the beef ones. Awesome. Now look at the 3 of them on my plate right here. This is the chicken with the red sauce. And of course, this middle one right here is the jalapeno and cheese. And I think next time when I make these, I'm going to dice the jalapenos smaller. Now this darker one is the beef with the green sauce. And I've tasted all 3. And let me tell you guys, they are so delicious. You would not believe. All right, Guys, so I hope that you saw from what I did that it's not difficult to make tamales, okay? Yes, there are quite a few steps that's involved, but that doesn't mean that it's difficult to do, all right? A lot of the time that I spent today would have been cut down if I did the sauces like the day before and cooked the meats the day before, or if I had chosen to just do one meat, just maybe the beef, okay? So I wanted to do so many things because I don't know when I'm going to come in here and make tamales again, so I wanted to make every one that I could think of, and I'm glad that I tried them all. I want to ask you to drink responsibly, and I also want to ask you to eat responsibly, because sometimes if you eat too much sugar, you kind of act like you're drunk. Don't you notice that? At least for me, I'm always in like a sugar rush or something when I eat too much sugar. Anyways, you guys take care of yourself as you party today, and I want to thank you so much for spending the time to watch my videos, especially this one. And if you like it, hit the thumbs up. Please share it with your friends and family for me. Thank you so much for visiting my website, and until I see you guys again, take care. Thank you so much for liking the video and subscribing. Please check out my other two channels, the product review channel, Bear Pantry Talk, and come have some fun with my family and me over at the vlog channel, Babs Bear Talk.